Welcome to the Carpenter Shop, where together we are learning some truth about our lives and who Jesus is and what He's called us to be and how He's created us. In 1 Peter chapter 3, verse 8, it says, "Finally, all of you live in harmony with one another, be sympathetic, love as brothers, be compassionate, and be humble." There was a fifth grade music teacher that asked her class to sing Do Re Mi, a song about the musical scale that was made popular in The Sound of Music. If you guys have ever seen that musical, you see Julie Andrews singing with all of those Von Trapp children, and they sing and they go all over, and it's an amazing thing to watch. And it sounds good. And so the kids in the classroom sang it in unison, all singing the same notes as they worked their way up the scale. And then the teacher stopped them and asked half the class to sing the song again, while she led the remaining students in singing up the C major scale. In other words, holding each note until it was time to go on to the next. And that way, she was trying to teach the class what we would call two-part harmony. A lot of us need to learn the difference between unison and harmony. The Bible doesn't tell us to live our lives in unison. Contrary to popular opinion, that's not what the Bible says. The Bible talks about having unity, which isn't the same thing as living in unison. But the Bible also talks about the importance of the way that we get along with others. So in essence, the Bible's talking about harmony, how we can live our lives in harmony with our friends, with our family, and with our coworkers. And we can find those areas in our life where we can come in and add the right tone and the right sound that will allow them to fulfill and kind of get a bigger, broader picture of the full sound of what God has for them. Now, it doesn't mean that you're always going to agree with people. And we live in a world that seems to want to demand unison. In other words, you have to think like I do. You have to do what I want to do. You have to have the same opinions. You have to like the same foods. You have to like the same politics. You have to like the same programs. You have to like the same places. And if you don't do that, we're not okay. That's what the world tells us. But yet, the passage we read says that we are to live in harmony with one another. In other words, we can have those differences because those really aren't the major things. And when we find that there are differences, we still can find a way to accent and highlight the strengths and cover up some of the weaknesses of others. The call of God, as we just read, as Peter stated it, is live in harmony with one another. It's not the same as unison. That's what the culture wants. That's what the culture wants you to do, to step in line and believe and bless what they tell you to bless. That's not what the Bible says at all. The Bible gives us a different set of standards, and it says that we as followers can learn to live in harmony and at the same time hold on to the truths of God and do so in a way that will impact the world. If you think about it, the people who have the greatest influence and the greatest impact are those that have figured out how to harmonize in a world that is screaming to stay in unison. Learn to add a little harmony. It'll help. I promise. We'll get together next time here in the Carpenter Shop.